So I was meant to film one video, and I think I'm on video 5, and I'm getting very tired, and I'm going to have to drive home at some point. But I was just going on about the come down from alcohol that I get. I'm pretty sure other people get this, but the next day I generally feel quite down if I've been drinking. And it's not because of the hangover, it's literally because of how it feels. I think it's because my blood sugar's low. I feel really horrendous, and I have depression anyway. So the come down is basically me being very, very, very down, like really, really down. And I get paranoid, like super paranoid. If I've been drinking with other people, which generally I do because I don't really ever drink alone, it's very rare for me to drink alone, I'll get paranoid about what happened that evening. Even if nothing bad happened, I will start getting paranoid. Or if I've not heard from anyone, like, I will get paranoid for absolutely no reason. And I hate it. And in my head I know I'm just being stupid, but I do get really down and I get paranoid. And I'm not a paranoid person, and that's why I hate it. I hate the way it makes me feel the next day. It's not after a couple of drinks, it's normally if I have a lot of drinks. If I have a couple of drinks and I'm just hungover, I don't get the paranoia. But if I've had a ton of drinks, then it's really bad, and that's why I don't really drink. And I was allowed to drink from a very young age, so I'm not very bothered about drinking. Like, I lived in a pub and a club, I was allowed to drink. I once got drunk on wine, and I was 6, and I did something very stupid. And then my parents were like, she's only having 1 glass from now on, she's not having 2. 2's too many. Obviously 2's too many. I think 1's too many at the age of 6, but I was allowed it. I hope that doesn't get my parents in trouble now. I doubt they could get in trouble for that, like, all these years later, but that's why I'm not too bothered about drinking, because I was allowed to do it. Like, from the age of like 12 onwards, I used to get a bottle of Advocaat for Christmas. I used to love that stuff. Not had it in years. I used to love it mixed with lemonade and ice, but I don't like lemonade now. And I used to like lemonade growing up, but I cannot stand lemonade now. If anyone ever gave me a glass of lemonade, I can't drink it. I just do not like it, and I don't even know why. I try and like get a really expensive one in hope that I like it, but I don't. And I don't know what it is about lemonade that I don't like, because I used to love lemonade growing up, but I don't now, and I don't understand why. But I used to have Advocaat mixed with lemonade and ice, but I used to get a bottle of Advocaat every Christmas from the age of 12. I think I did that every year till I was about... I've not had it for a few years, because I started buying it myself, but because I don't like lemonade, I haven't had it for years. There was a bottle of it in my cupboard, but I think I threw it out because I think it had gone funny because I'd not drank it for years. But that used to be my favourite drink at Christmas. But now I don't drink at Christmas. Well, I didn't last year. I don't think I drank much of the year before. I'm just boring. I'm like 90. You'd think it, wouldn't you? Because I don't do anything. But drinking makes me brutally honest as well. Like, it's not good. Like, there's those things like, you shouldn't say to people. When I'm drunk, I have no filter. I say things and I shouldn't say them. Like, I am brutally honest about anything and everything. Like, if people ask me something, I'll just be there, like, and I'll just tell them things. And I shouldn't. And I say stupid things. And the horrible thing is, I always remember absolutely everything I've said the next day. Everything. So when I'm having those really bad come downs and I'm remembering things that I've said, and it's nothing nasty or anything, I'm just like brutally honest. Like, really brutally honest. And I say stupid things. Not hurtful or horrible, like I said, just I'm an idiot. And like, there's always those things that everyone knows that they shouldn't say, when I've had a drink, I just say it. Not all the time, like, I'm making it sound like I just go around saying stuff. I don't. But if someone ever asks me anything, I'm normally like brutally honest. Instead of like not saying it, I do say it. But it's funny because liquid morphine has the same effect on me, and so does large doses of codeine. That just makes me brutally honest as well. So if you want the brutal honest truth and you can handle it, just give me some codeine or morphine. Morphine also makes me go to sleep for 40 minutes as well. Not straight away. Normally straight away I'm just there like brutal honest, and then I have to have a sleep. Hey, if you can't sleep, take morphine. I remember when I was in hospital, like, I don't know, it was about 18 months ago, and I had the same thing as this other person, and I'm sure they were putting on the pain because they were on morphine, and, well, I was allowed morphine if I asked for it, or if I was in a lot of pain and I could have it. But she was having morphine like literally every time she could get her hands on it. She was having it in the afternoon so she could have an afternoon nap, and then she was having it at bedtime to help her sleep. And the only thing about morphine is the dreams are totally crazy. Like, seriously, morphine dreams are just they're not worth having. To be honest, I'd rather not have the morphine because of the morphine dreams. The morphine dreams are something else. If you've ever had morphine, I don't know if it's the same for I don't know, you can have morphine. Is morphine only by injection and by in your mouth? Because I always have the liquid morphine that they give you a syringe and then you put it in your mouth yourself. That's the only version I've ever had. But literally the dreams I've had from morphine are just, they're on another level. And obviously I've only ever had morphine when I've been in hospital, and I've always been told by the nursing staff or the what are the healthcare workers that I've been shouting stuff out in my sleep. And one of the last times I had it, I literally was rocking backwards and forwards like crazy in my sleep, and I was like, I woke up rocking backwards and forwards, and I remember doing it in my sleep, but I was literally doing it awake as well. And luckily I had my own room, because can you imagine if I was on a ward with other people and I'm there rocking backwards and forwards like crazy? They probably would have thought I was absolutely off my head. I was like laid on my side, I was like moving forwards and backwards like crazy. I don't even know what I was doing in the dream. I can't remember now. I remembered at the time what was going on, but it was like the weirdest dream. So liquid morphine is crazy. I think there's a video on this channel called Liquid Morphine is Crazy or something along those lines, and it's one of my most watched videos, strangely. I can't even remember if I talk about it in detail in it. I just remember that's what I entitled it because I mentioned it in the video. But it's one of my most viewed videos, so maybe people want to know what morphine's like. But morphine is crazy. Actually, the first time I ever had it, that I remember, I don't know if I've ever had it before then, I was in hospital 18 months ago, and I was in a lot of pain and I couldn't sleep. I think it was, I'm trying to remember when it was. Oh, it was that time when that woman was always getting, no it wasn't, this is another time. Oh, was it another time? Oh no, it was the same time when I was in with this woman. I was in hospital for 8 days. I pretended I was well in the end to get out. And I was given, oh was it then? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was. Oh, I can't remember if it was when I'm trying to remember. I think it was. I was in this. Yeah, it definitely was. Been in so many times, I can't remember. I was given. The nurse came and gave me this morphine, right? And I'd not slept much since being in there, because there was this woman on the ward who constantly was making noises day and night, shouting out, saying she was going to kill everyone, or she was being murdered, or lots of things. And I was so stressed out. I eventually got her moved because I complained so much, and my mum and dad was ringing up so much because I was complaining so much to them, because I couldn't sleep and I was getting so stressed out with literally no sleep. And other people were on there. There was someone who had had a major operation, and because of me moaning, got her moved. I wasn't trying to get her moved, I was trying to get me moved, but they got her moved, and she actually come and thanked me. She said, if it weren't for you saying, like, what's this woman's doing, and the nurses knew, and they actually put her on the ward with us and took her out of a private room. Basically, I hadn't slept. Like, I'd had about an hour a night for 4 nights at this point, and they gave me liquid morphine. I didn't know what they were giving me. They just said they were. I couldn't remember what they said they were giving me. Had it, fell asleep. I don't know how long for, but I had a weird dream, and I woke up, and I must have still been having this dream, because I got on the floor and sat on the floor and started rocking backwards and forwards. Nurse came and found me, put me back in bed, and put the bars up on the side. You know those bars they have? Somehow I got out of bed again, because there's the gap at the bottom. I think I slid down the bed, got on the floor, and nurse came back, and she's like, what are you doing? And I can't remember what I said. I just remember doing this, and this isn't normal behaviour, so I think it was a combination of lack of sleep, being unwell, and the morphine. Got back off the floor, got on the bed, and had this panic attack, and the nurse gave me what they call when you get the oxygen but they put something in it, a nebulizer. Gave me that to calm me down, and I did start to feel a lot better, but I was still really out of it. And I sat on the floor, and this nurse came, and this is going to sound really bad, but I think it was the lack of sleep and being ill and the morphine. But I was convinced that she looked like Whoopi Goldberg, and she kept laughing at me, not because of that, because of some other stuff I was coming out with. But then we ended up talking about Whoopi Goldberg films, and then the doctor came. The doctor must have thought I was completely crazy, because I was saying stuff to him, and you know when you can tell someone wants to laugh, and I kept seeing, like, looking at him, and he had this look on his face, and I knew he wanted to laugh. And I remember telling him it was okay to laugh, because I thought I was an idiot. And he said, it's because you're not very well, and probably because of the morphine. He said it does sometimes do this to people. And I said, I kept telling him it was okay to laugh, but he just wouldn't laugh. But I think he thought it was probably being unprofessional if he laughed at me. But when I woke the next day, I'd only had a couple of hours sleep, but when they wake you up in the morning, I was just there, like, remembering everything I said and did the night before, and I was like, oh my god, I never want morphine again. It was crazy. I was like, oh my god, it was ridiculous what I got up to that night. And then the next night, the original nurse that came to me, not the one that I thought looked like Whoopi Goldberg, but the original one who gave me the nebulizer, she was on, and they decided I needed morphine again. She went, if I give you morphine, are you going to go crazy again? I was like, I hope not. She went, it was probably because of how tired you are and because of what's wrong with you. And I said, well, that's what the doctor said. She said, well, that's probably what it was. Sometimes different drugs do that, but it's in your notes to give it to you. So I was like, I'm a little bit scared to have it. She said, you'll probably be okay, but try not to panic like you did last night, because obviously I did panic. And I had it, and I slept. I think it was actually my last night, because I was having a scan the next day. Not a CT scan, the other one. What's it called? That one where you go in the tunnel and it's like you're in there for half an hour. I had one of them, and I'd been given the morphine and I was nil by mouth from, I think, 3 in the morning, because you had to be nil by mouth for 6 hours. And I woke up to have a drink and it was only just after 3 and I couldn't have a drink, and the morphine leaves the most hideous taste in your mouth. And I forgot to have a drink before I went to sleep because morphine knocked me out literally straight away. So I was like, had this horrible taste in my mouth till about 12 o'clock the next day, when I was finally able to have a drink. But I got out that day only because when the doctor came round in the morning, I pretended I was feeling a lot better, and I learned what to say to get out of there, because I was meant to actually go home on the Friday, and it was Tuesday, I think. Yeah, it was Tuesday. And they was going to let me go home on the Monday, but for the results that had come back from my bloods, they thought there was something wrong with my liver, and that's why I had that scan, the MRI, and there was so much showing on my liver. So they kept me in, and but I was originally meant to go home on the Friday, but I was feeling very dizzy, and they won't let you go home if you're feeling dizzy, and I didn't realise that at the time. So when I told them I was very dizzy, I didn't think or believe or know that that would stop me from going home. And they don't discharge at the weekend apparently. So I thought I was going to go home on the Sunday, and I'm like saying to everyone, yeah, I'm going home Sunday, and I got told they definitely don't discharge on a Sunday. They said out of all the days, that's the day they definitely won't discharge you on. So I was like, oh, I'm going home Monday, and I was quite ill Monday, and I stupidly said I was ill, and they came round with the blood results, and they said, well, if your bloods are okay, we'll probably let you go home tomorrow. But of course it showed something wrong with my liver, so I had the MRI, and that day when they came round, I think they came round before I went for my MRI, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm feeling really well today, and I didn't, but I knew that's how I got home. So I went home on the Tuesday, on day 8, because I went in on the Monday before, and that's the longest I've been in hospital for. The second longest I've been in was 5 in January, or was it 6? I think it was 5. Actually, it was technically 6. And then I was in overnight in A&E in Feb, and then I went back half an hour later because my stepdad had got rushed in, and then I ended up in March, and I got admitted, but I got straight back out. I only got admitted because I was physically unwell, but then because I couldn't pinpoint the symptoms because of how I was stressed out and depressed I was, they discharged me, and then I ended up in April and then May. I'm getting tired. I'm gonna be tired for about half an hour. I bet it's after midnight now, and I wanted to be home at 11. So I'm probably gonna go home and I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I can't sleep in late tomorrow because I've got to go to bed at 10 o'clock tomorrow. How is that possible? Someone please tell me. Well, I'll already know now, because by the time you see this, it's going to be like Saturday next week. Like, it's going to be a week later when you see this, probably. This might not even go up till Sunday, I don't know, because I've filmed so many clips. I don't know how many I'm up to now. I've been filming for like what feels like 5,000 hours. When I came out, my phone was probably on about 80%, and it's on 12% now. That's how much I've filmed. I wanted to go home and watch stuff, but I'm too tired. But I'm going to go home and eat, so that'll probably wake me up. But I don't want to be like going to bed at like 4 in the morning. I'm so stressed out about Monday. I'm going to be like a wreck on Monday, and no one knows what I'm doing. I could be going to, I don't know. I was trying to think of something funny, but there's nothing funny about life. You live, you have shit done to you, you get treated like a crap. Everyone wants you to do everything. You try and do everything to keep everyone happy, and everyone's still not happy, and then you die. The end. I don't even want to go home. I'm deliberately like not going home for a reason, and I can't say why. but I don't want to go home. I'd rather sit here all night, but obviously I've got to go on because I've got a dog who will want to go out for a wee. She's probably waiting for me so she can go out. And I've got a hamster who's dying. He's a little old man, my hamster now. He's like, well, he's 2 and 3 months. Hamsters live 18 months to 3 years, but it's very rare for them to get to 3 years. But my first hamster, Alfie, he lived to 3 years and 3 months. He was the best hamster. But my last hamster, Tiberius, was 2 and 2 months. And I mean, not Tiberius, Claudius was 2 and 2 months. And Tiberius, my current hamster, is 2 and 2 months. I think it might be 2 and 3 months, let me think. He's actually 2 years and 3 months old. But he's getting a lot of the not symptoms, but there's a couple of things where I know he's not going to be around forever, but I thought he died in, I think it was March, and I got really, was it March? Could have been February, March, because I think there might be a video that had gone up where you see me like getting happy because I saw him, but what you didn't see was I thought the hamster had died. Because in my head, I convinced myself I'd not seen him for days, but I probably had done. And I thought he'd died, and I thought I was going to get accused of killing my hamster. I don't even know why I thought that, but because of everything that was going on at the time and certain people upsetting me and me being upset all the time, I was just like, oh my god, they're going to think I killed the hamster. Like, proper had this full-on breakdown about it. And I went home, because I'd been out, and I went home and I was going out again, and I spotted him. I was like, oh my god, the hamster's alive. And I remember, like, I filmed it. I don't know if it's in a video or not. And I remember looking at the dog and like, he's alive, we've not killed him. Like, because I was so convinced the hamster had died, and I thought I was going to get the blame for it. And I don't even know why now. But obviously, I'm not in the same mind as I was then. Obviously, I'm not thinking the same way as I was thinking then, but yeah, I was so upset when I saw him. I was like, oh my god, he's alive, and I was like happy. But I know it's inevitable that it's going to happen anytime. And Tiberius didn't look like it. He was starting to look a bit shabby. They do, at the end, they do start to look a little bit shabby, like Alfie. Well, the kidneys start to go, so they start to lose some of the hair, the fur, not hair. They start to get a couple of bald spots, and they start drinking a ton of water. But this one's been drinking more water than normal, but not enough for his kidneys to have gone. So he's okay in that respect. I do think he's got a few months left in him, which is ironic, I guess. And I'm going to do one more video because I'm going to stop this here because I'm almost at 25 minutes, but I'm not going to film for longer than 10 minutes because I really, really do want to go and have a drink and sort my dog out. So I'll be back.